The forgetting curve. Do you ever get the feeling that you're forgetting something? Think back to a class you had last week or the book you read recently. Can you remember all the details? Research shows that we forget a lot of information not long after we've learned it. This can be a scary thought in university because of the rate and amount of information that you learn as a student. The forgetting curve was developed by Hermann Ebbinghaus, and it helps us to understand how quickly we forget information, why we forget, and how to prevent it. The initial forgetting curve shows your memory with no review sessions over time. The x-axis represents time, and the y-axis represents the percentage of information retained. As time elapses, your memory weakens, and you retain less information, with the biggest drop in retention occurring shortly after learning. So for example, on day 1, you attend your lecture and leave with remembering 100% of what you just learned. On day 2, the curve drops significantly, and by day 3, if you've not reviewed the information, you will forget 50 to 80% of the material learned in lecture. That's a lot of information lost in a matter of just days. By day 7, you'll remember even less, and by day 30, you'll only retain just a few percent of that original lecture. Remember, this curve shows what happens without frequent studying or review. So let's take a look at the curve when regular review is included. If you were to review your lecture notes the next day, your memory and retention would increase back up to 100%. Add in a shorter review a week later to strengthen your recall, and your retention is back up to 100% again. Each time you review the content, you become more familiar with it, and your memory strengthens, meaning less time is required to reach 100% retention each time that you review. Regular review is crucially important throughout the term to increase long-term memory retention. Without review, you'll need to relearn and then study all of the information from the beginning before your exam. This is cramming, and it often causes avoidable stress and requires more time than if you included review throughout the semester. Instead, add regular review sessions to your weekly schedule, complete practice problems, and create chapter summaries from memory each week. The big takeaway from the forgetting curve is reviewing your course content periodically throughout the term. Not only will this help you better understand course content and build stronger memories of course material, but it will ultimately save you time in your study schedule and prevent cramming for exams.